Hey guys, very good evening with me Janatul Naim J from Bangladesh, Corporate Ambassador of the Institute of Global Professionals. The mission of this institution is to empower people from all over the world, especially the job seekers and the job holders, by providing effective training and consultation. For the students, the mission of Institute of Global Professionals is to empower them to better their lives and to contribute positively to the organizations and communities in which they work and live. We accomplish this by providing quality higher education. We serve students locally, nationally, and internationally through our respective
where really starts because one person lets their guard down and the walls start.
I am cordially welcoming you all. We hope that the webinar will help you to enlighten your knowledge in various sectors. Hope you will enjoy and stay with us till the end. We have already completed 26 webinars successfully, and our last webinar was on millennial leadership. Today, we are presenting the webinar 27 on purpose, visions, and goals for leaders. Our today's guest speaker is Deborah Viborni. Deborah Viborni resides outside of Dallas, Texas, USA, on a small ranch with her teenage son. She has a bachelor's degree in administration, a master's degree in education, and has held leadership positions at all levels from elementary to university professor. She has opened 9 schools from the ground up and has mentored hundreds of people. Deborah has worked in the educational and correctional fields, serving as director for both her for-profit and non-profit business. As a small business owner for the last 15 years, she has coached and trained both individuals and corporations in the areas of leadership and personal and professional growth and development. She is a founding member of the John Maxwell team and is a certified coach, speaker, and trainer. She has led masterminds and workshops on business growth, communication, mindset, and leadership. She has served as a strategic planning partner for private and public organizations. Deborah Ma'am has a heart for teaching, and her message will empower you to move forward and achieve your dreams. She loves wisdom and is a great woman of faith. To learn more about Deborah and how she can help you or your business, if you have any question during the presentation, please write down in the comment box. We will try to answer them all as far as possible. Today we are happy to have her conduct this webinar. Let's welcome let's welcome Deborah Viborni ma'am to the Institute of Global Professionals. Hello ma'am.
Hi there. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Welcome ma'am.
Well, I'd like to welcome everyone to this webinar and thank you to the Institute of Global Professionals for putting this together. And it's truly my honor to serve and be a part of your journey. While I'm telling you a little bit about myself, why don't you put in the chat a little bit about yourself, please? Let us know your name, where you're from, and what type of work you do or what type of work you'd like to do. I can't wait to virtually meet all of you. Feel free to connect with me through email or Facebook if there's anything that I can help you with. If you have any questions, you may put them in there too, in the chat. And I'll also ask the moderator to help with those, please. So once again, my name is Deborah Viborni, and I work with individuals and business organizations to hone in on or identify their purpose, create vision and goals, and most importantly, to attain them. I train in the areas of leadership and personal and professional growth, and I run accountability groups and masterminds. In this webinar, you will learn how to create what we want in our lives, why purpose, vision, and goals all matter, and how to develop yourself to go to the next level. Now, you may be wondering why you're looking at a bunch of chairs, but let me tell you this. Before these chairs ever existed in the physical, they existed in someone else's mind. You see, all things are created twice, once in the mind and then in the physical. They didn't just appear out of nowhere. Someone had to think of the purpose, of the design, of the functionality, and then how to bring their thought into the physical by manufacturing them. So it is with most everything. We are creative beings. You were made in the likeness of your creator and meant to create. Your ideas, your business, your leadership requires you to create. And what you think about matters. I want you to know that more than ever today, the world needs to hear your voice. The world needs you. So understand that whatever you are thinking is so very important because your thoughts truly do manifest. I see so many people signing in. Good evening to most of you. Good evening. It's morning for me. If it's morning for you, good morning. Thank you for all of your wonderful welcomes. Now, I'd like to discuss this quote. And this quote is from one of my mentors, John Maxwell. And the quote is, "Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less." John is one of the greatest leadership gurus alive today. Actually, I think he's been number one in leadership for voted for over the last decade. If you've ever heard of John, let me know in the chat. I'd love to know if you've read any of his books or heard anything from him. Now, I think it's important to talk about leaders for a minute, as the title of this seminar is Vision, Purpose, and Goals for Leaders. What I want you to know is that we're all leaders. All of us are leaders, whether in our personal lives or our professional lives, whether we have a title or whether we don't have a title. We all have influence over someone. It could be our coworkers, our children, our spouses, or our friends. So know that as a leader, you do have influence. And because of that, you have a responsibility to continue to develop yourself to be the best leader that you can be. Yes, we have people watching, many people watching from the Philippines have just come in. Welcome, welcome everyone. We can't outgrow what we don't know. This is why international global professionals is so important. Continual learning for our growth. There's a leadership law called the law of the lid. And essentially, what that states is that leadership ability is the lid that determines a person's effectiveness. The lower the leader's ability to lead, the lower the lid on his or her potential. So if you can imagine, if your knowledge, skills, and learning equals a 6, you're not going to be able to lead at an 8, right? There's going to be a gap there. So how do you close this gap? How do you get to be better? Well, one of the ways that you do that is by continuing to join seminars and webinars like this. Another one is by working with a coach, by having a mentor, by very intentionally developing your personal and your professional growth. Personal growth is so very important. Sometimes we don't think about that. We think about, oh, it's all about professional, but you're never going to lead higher than your ability. So you have to grow yourself. Sense? I hope everybody is continuing to do fine. So let's talk about purpose. I believe that we were all born with a deep and meaningful purpose. The dictionary defines purpose as the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. I do whole programs on this with people and corporations, so we won't go into it in great depth here, but I do want to give you some ideas on how to draw your purpose out if you are not quite sure what it is. If you know what your purpose is, either personally or professionally, and care to share it, please go ahead and write it in the chat. I'd love to see that. So, my purpose is to raise leaders, to help others see that they are truly fully resourced, that they are able to be, do, and have all that they want in life, and to show them how to do it. My purpose is to take an individual or an organization from where they are to where they want to be. That's it. Now, there are some really deep reasons behind my purpose that I don't really have to go into today, and I want you to know that there should be deep reasons or feelings behind your purpose too. What I'd like to ask from you is that if you're able to share this webinar with your friends, share a link with them or share it on your page, go ahead and do so. That it's so important. This information is so worth, and so please go ahead and share with some of your friends and some of your colleagues. If you ask yourself, what is my purpose or passion in life, you can begin to explore this by looking at two things. One, what do you love to do and what comes easily to you? What are your gifts? For example, I'm gifted with the ability to lead and the ability to teach. And I love doing both. I have a gift of discernment and solving. What are your gifts? Go ahead and put those in the chat. What are some of your gifts? Other people would be very interested to know that, I'm sure. I'm so glad some people are saying that they've already shared. I'm very glad to see that. Good. Number two, just as an example, ask yourself what qualities you enjoy expressing most in the world. Okay, and as an example, I'll give you mine. The qualities I enjoy expressing the most in the world are love and servant leadership. I think our world needs much more love and caring, and I think that we need to serve as leaders. And so, how do I enjoy expressing these? Through inspiring and empowering others. That's mine. So, if you would like to type what qualities you enjoy expressing most in the world, go ahead and do that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm so glad so many people have said that they have shared. Thank you. Yes. Okay, so creating a life purpose statement. This is very important. And this is something that probably, if you don't have right now, I'd like for you to go ahead and work on creating a life purpose statement. So it doesn't have to be a long and involved thing. You may know your statement now, or you may need to work on it. If you know what it is, share it. Share it. The networking here is wonderful. So let us know what it is that you do and what you are um, passionate about. Okay, and the fourth is align your vision and goals with your life purpose. Align your vision and goals with your life purpose. Your life's purpose should drive you. It should pull you. If you have a dream or if you have something that you love, it should pull you. You should be excited about working on it, waking up in the morning excited about working on it, or having it on your mind every once in a while throughout the day. It should align with who you are and what you want. Okay, so everything should align. So this is your purpose, whatever your purpose is. Everything else that you do, and we'll discuss this, should align with your purpose. Nor Fatima said, our purpose is to serve the people and the Almighty. Ishan said, leaders should be down to earth. Yes, I agree. I agree so much. The questions about the certificates, I am certain that will be answered after this webinar by the moderator. Um, just wonderful comments. Thank you for the feedback. So vision, we just talked about purpose, right? And now we're going to go into vision. And vision is like a really big part of this. So a person without a clear vision for their lives lives a very loose life. But a man with a vision, they live a very narrow life. It's very important. Disciplined people live very narrowly. Disciplined people live very differently. They live with a purpose. When a man or a woman has a vision, their life becomes very, very tight. Why? Because if you think about it, vision simplifies life. What do I mean by this? When you capture a vision, it simplifies everything. Everything, because vision controls all of our choices. After that, once you know where you're going, you automatically know what roads don't take you there, right? You know what not to do just as much as you know what to do. If you know what to do automatically, you should also know what not to do. Your vision defines what you do in life because your vision, it gives you your address, your permanent address. It's like home to you. Okay, it's where we get it gets us to destination, and destination is where we get our word destiny from. Okay, your destiny dictates your decisions. Write that down. Your destiny dictates anything so that life becomes simple. If someone offers you something that isn't in alignment or doesn't collaborate or isn't in unity with your vision, it's easier to say no, right? It's not, you're not open to it. You know that it's not going to serve you or your vision, so it's going to be a waste of time. Yes, clear and precise vision for leaders leads to a successful life. Yes, it does. Vision must be accompanied by action. Yes, and we'll certainly get to that. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, good. Rob Zen purpose is to serve well to the nation. Mara Lou said she's a results-oriented person, and that's a wonderful thing. She foresees in her mind consequences before she puts her plans into action. Oh my goodness, that is so important. That's one thing called that I call foresight. And foresight for leaders is so important. You have to think ahead. You have to have the ability to think, if I do this, what will happen? If I don't do this, what will happen? Very, very important. Thank you for sharing that. We somehow believe that we have to stay busy, that we have to do this, and that we have to do that. We somehow believe that we have a lot of things in life that we have to do. I disagree. I used to think this myself, but when you study people who have been successful in their lives or eventually have become influential, they have adopted a philosophy normally associated with this phrase: this one thing I do. This one thing I do. You've got to get to the point where you narrow yourself down, okay, and where everything that you do aligns. People who discover their vision live longer, they live healthier, and they live with less stress. Stress comes from not knowing what to do. So if we have vision, if we have purpose and vision, we kind of know where the roadmap is starting to go. We need to learn to focus. That is so very important. You cannot be scattered all over the place, and you cannot have too many things going on at once. Make sure you clear this thing quickly with your vision. There are some people in your life, I want you to think about this, who are not necessarily good company. Are there people in your life who tend to waste your time or drain your energy? They become a distraction. Sometimes things like, you know, going out to eat with them, or even watching TV, or um, spending time on things that you don't necessarily need to spend time on. Those things are distractions. People can be distractions. Things can be distractions. Some people spend their time and their money, buying books that they don't need to buy. They buy fiction, or I don't know, romance novels, or magazines. Those things don't, unless your vision has to do with fashion, that doesn't align with your vision. So vision simplifies what you do. You could walk up to a bookstore shelf and know exactly what books you want to buy and exactly what books you don't want to buy. Vision dictates everything. It simplifies your life. Let me give you another statement. This is so important if you want to be successful. Write this down. Do not seek success. You hear me? Do not seek success. Seek to become a person of value. Again, if you want to be successful in life, do not seek success. Seek to become a person of value. In other words, make yourself valuable, and people will pay for that. for you. Make yourself valuable, like, we have made gold valuable in our society, and gasoline and water valuable in our society, and we'll pay for them because what? Because they're valuable, because they're necessary. That's what you have to do with your skills and with your life set. Make it necessary for somebody, make it clear, make it plain, and make it valuable. Develop your gift so that anybody who needs you would not hesitate to pay you for your gift. Let me give you another example of how it works. If someone had to think about something that reminded them of you, what would it be? Seriously, because if people don't think of you and have something to attach it to, that means that you've never made that connection, okay? So when people think of me, they know what I do. They know that I'm a problem solver. They know that I train for leadership. They know that I work with vision and goals. They know what I do. So when they need my help, when their organization is struggling, or when they need to get clarity, they come and work with me. What do people think about when they think about you? Let me give you an example. If I say the word Michael Jordan, what's the first thing that you think about? Probably basketball, right? If I name Tiger Woods, what would you think about? Probably golf, right? Denzel Washington, what would you think about? He's an actor. They have all become so very good in their fields that when we say their names or hear their names, we think about the one thing. We think about the one thing that they have developed. And so I want to encourage you to when you're done with this webinar, to really hone in on carving a niche for yourself, and looking at what it is that you would like to be known for, remembered for, and realize that people do not ignore the fact that you are connected to the one thing that you do. Yes. Corazon said legacy is important to her. Um, Legacy Muhammad. Um, yes, and yes, they do. These other people, they do leave legacy. Yes, yes, we're having a little bit of uh, a pause in between the comments. Yes, yep, absolutely, absolutely. Um, and um, Kai J. Rosa said, passionate, effective, efficient, determined. These are the things I'd like people to remember of me. Ooh, a leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That is a John Maxwell quote as well. I love that. Ron says, do not dream for success, work for it. Absolutely. You guys are really interacting a lot. I love that. Let me give you a few more thoughts. Vision chooses your attitude in life. If you know where you're going, it tells you how to think. Vision chooses your life. Like what kind of life that you lead. It chooses your lifestyle. It dictates everything. People who have no vision in their lives throw off restraint. We already discussed the word discipline. Okay, so they throw off self-control and they don't have any idea what to do next. Vision chooses your life's plan. It tells you what to plan for your life and how to plan your living. And next, vision dictates your values. Very important. When you know what you're born to do, it dictates how you should behave and what kind of standard you should live by. Right away, it changes everything. Write this down, please. Vision clarifies purpose. It gives direction to the leader and it empowers the leader beyond his assets. Vision clarifies purpose. It gives direction to the leader and it empowers the leader beyond his assets. In other words, vision doesn't allow you to live by that which you don't have. It takes you beyond that. You begin believing in things that you don't have money to pay for at this time. And that's important because if you keep living by what you don't have, you'll never rise above to what you want. Vision literally creates resources. Vision attracts resources. Let me give you an example. People don't give, people give to a vision. Okay, that's why they write grants, different government grants. They'll always ask for the vision in there. When you ask donors for money, they're not giving, donors aren't giving money to you. They're giving money to your vision. They're giving money to your purpose, to your destiny. So it's very important to be very clear about your vision and make it plain so that anyone can see it just like they see you. Vision chooses your friends. Vision decides the company that you keep. Yes, North Fatima says true leadership is always begins with the inner person. Tressa Luna says a leader is a good influencer. Yes. The vision of a leader is to see the people around him or her successful. Yes, and to bring a team successful. Yes, yes. There's a saying that my mentor, Paul Martinelli, says. He says, jump and build your wings on the way down. Jump and build your wings on the way down, meaning take action. Things will become much clearer once you start. For every step you take, another step will be revealed. I can tell you this is such a great truth. If you're starting a company or an organization or you're starting your walk on a new journey, you will realize that 6 months down the road, it looks a little bit different than it did when you first started. So you have to take steps. You have to take one step after another. Okay. And the biggest thing is the action. Things might change. Things might lead you a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, a little bit back center. But one step is important. One step. So I'm going to ask you today, what is that one step that you could take today to move you closer to your vision? Write it in the chat. It can be anything. Even the smallest of things matter when it comes to moving towards your vision. What's one step that you can take today? Could it be reading a chapter in a book, taking some time to write, working on your purpose statement, making some contacts and reaching out to people that you need to, you know that can help you, signing up for the next webinar. What's one step that you can take today that will move you closer to your vision? And I want to tell you that I really like this saying, done is better than perfect, right? I like that saying because how many of you feel like you need to know everything before you start? I know that was me for years. I thought that I needed to know everything, and it was almost like if you've ever heard of the saying paralysis analysis. Okay, so it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure that I know um, what to do next and what to do next, and I'm not sure that I know where everything will lead or how to do everything. So then you just kind of wind up throwing up your hands and not doing anything. And so I want to encourage you that um, does not have to be perfect. We are none of us perfect beings, okay? And what we're doing is we're doing things with a good intention. And when you're doing things with a good intention, it's going to lead you to where you are therefore more valuable, more influential, and you can help others. And isn't that what things are all about? Is is about helping others, okay? Businesses used to do like 10-year plans, 20-year plans. Um, you know, they don't anymore. And the reason why they don't anymore is because obviously technology in the world is changing so quickly that they say that long-term goals that used to be like 10 years or 20 years or even 5 years, long-term goals are obsolete. They become obsolete in like 2 to 3 years. So whatever you want to do, start. How are we doing? Is everybody doing okay? Thank you. Thank you for the hearts and the likes. Thank you. Yes. Oh, thank you. Martin says, I'm so excited to be part of the team. Cheryl says, it puts us on the right track. An inspiring leader is an empath and humane. Absolutely, we have to be humane. Anna says, stop procrastination is the next step. Um, Anna Lamb says, Peter, you must be a good follower. That is so true. You have to be able to follow and take direction before you lead. You have to be a good follower to become a good leader. And that's part of what servant leadership is about. I believe in that. And I know that I'm not saying your names correctly. I apologize. I'm doing my very best. But I am so thankful that um, that you are taking the time to comment. Imelda says an inspiring leader must be respectful and understanding and God-fearing. The qualities leadership possess, Ruben says, are goal-oriented, be approachable, and be humane. Isn't that so right? Yes. Now, let's go into talking about our goals. I hope up until this point you've been able to take away some new thoughts or ideas. Maybe they aren't even new, but a good reminder to get you back on track. I hope so. So, what I want to continue talking about is how we create what we want in our lives. Specifically, what is goal setting? What we call goal setting is really just a very natural process of creation and manifestation. What if we changed our perception of goal achieving altogether and began to see it as a creative process, a process of manifesting and attracting things into our lives, a natural process? Goal setting and goal achieving are skills that must be learned. learned, creating and natural. And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm just going to think about it and it's going to pop up. You absolutely have to take action, but there is a mindset that you have to have with your goals, with your goal achieving. Okay. There is a mindset of putting your focus and your energy and your being into what it is that you want to accomplish and believing that what it is that you want to accomplish will come to pass. It's there's a saying that I learned probably when I was 15 or 16 years old, and it was by Norman Vincent Peale, and it said, "Throw your heart over the bar and your body will follow." And I don't know if you've ever seen, like, what I've always imagined is like when you look at the Olympics or something and you see the pole vaulters, the people who take a pole and they vault themselves over this high bar. And so I've always kind of had that picture in my mind is throw your heart first, throw your heart over the bar and your body will follow. Everything else will fall into line. Gonzalez says to serve others should be the goal of a leader. Yes. Yes. Lorenzo says goal setting is the framework of a common goal we want to achieve. Yes. The reason that we define our purpose, vision, and goals is so that we can consciously direct the creative process. Understanding, awareness, and self evaluation are tools you use to strengthen your ability to live from purpose, vision, and goals. Understanding, awareness, and self evaluation are the tools you use to strengthen your ability to live from your purpose, your vision, and your goals. So let's just take a minute to review, okay? And you can write this down if you'd like to. Your purpose is the filter through which you will direct your creative power. Your purpose is the filter through which you will direct your creative power. It is why you do what you do. Your purpose is like the sun. Everything revolves around it. Okay? So that's what your purpose is. Your purpose generally won't change. If it does change, it will change. You'll have the same purpose probably for decades. Your purpose generally won't change. That's kind of solidified in who you are. Vision, okay? So now we're going to go back to reviewing vision a little bit. From your purpose, you create your vision. From your purpose, you create your vision. Your vision is aligned to your purpose, okay? Creating your vision is the most powerful, productive activity in the creative process. Creating your vision is the most powerful, productive activity in the creative process. So, your vision statement is a detailed description of you living in the full achievement and presence of your purpose in the present tense. Your vision statement will be the connector between your purpose and your goals and is a living, breathing document. Your purpose, your vision statement can be It can be a paragraph long, it can be a few sentences long, it can be pages long. This is how you see things in this area in living in your full achievement, in having to do with your purpose. All right. So it's the connector between your purpose and your goals. And I really love working with people in this area, whether personally or professionally, to define um, who who they're trying to become, what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to have, what they're trying to do. It's very, very, very important, I think, and my heart is in it. It's very interesting to me. From your vision statement, you will begin to identify your goals, short and long term. Stay in the land of possibility. You don't have to know every step, like we said, just the next step. Your goals will come from your vision, sometimes directly from your vision, and sometimes as a way to live your vision. The purpose of the goal is the benchmark and to cause you to grow into the person who is living your purpose and your vision. I have a vision statement exercise that I can share with you if you want. We'll probably put it in the chat. You can email me at debvibe.com. That's DEBVYB at gmail.com. I apologize, deb5 at gmail.com. And so if you'd like that, it's a short but very good activity, a vision statement activity. How is everyone doing? Marilyn says a good business leader has a clear vision for his or her business. Absolutely. Um, Martin asks, what's the normal age for one to know his or her vision? And I think that that comes from purpose. And I'm not sure that there is necessarily a normal age for that. I think you really have to dig deep into your heart and go into some values. I think I have some. We'll get into some core values that can help you define that as well. Kerwin says your goals should be short term and long term. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes, very good. Let's keep going. The process of setting a goal requires you to think about where you or your company are going in the future. Once you have that vision, it is your goals that provide direction, motivation, and the framework to take action necessary to achieve them. A goal is easy to set, but a good goal is tied to something meaningful. It's measurable, specific, and has a time frame. The first step to set an achievable goal is to find out what motivates it. What purpose does it serve? What purpose does the goal serve? There has to be a purpose in order, if you're going to be spending your time and energy on this, there has to be a purpose for your goal. If you're setting goals for a company, consider the company's values that lie at the heart of the business and serve as the foundation for setting and achieving goals. Identify your company's core values. That's a fundamental step on the road to success. As once you establish what those values are, you have the answer to a very important question, and that is, why do I do what I do? It's the why that you lead with. It's what you stand for and what your company, product, or service is promoting. This is the basis for defining your goals and putting a plan in place to achieve them. It's the same for personal goals. So I have a question for you. Why do you do what you do? So let me just give you some examples of some core values, and I want you to think, are any of these your core values? Yes, Christine says smart goals. Yep, absolutely. We'll talk about that. Um, yes. So a list of core values, I'll read some here to you, and you think about, do any of these resonate with you or with your company? It could be authenticity, achievement, adventure, authority, um, beauty, balance, coordination, community or citizenship, contribution, creativity, determination, faith, fairness, friendships, growth, happiness, honesty, humor, influence. Remember, I'm sharing some of these as core goals, core values, so that you can see if any of these resonate with you. Because when we're setting our goals or our business goals, they have to align with our core values. One of your core values may be leadership, learning, meaningful work, optimism, peace, popularity, recognition, religion, reputation, respect, maybe responsibility is one of your core goals. Maybe service is one of your core goals. Maybe self-respect or security is one of your core goals. So think about some of those, what some of your core goals may be. Um, for example, when I think of some of my core goals, just a few of them, one of them is having an abundance mindset, making sure that my mindset is right and it aligns with what I want to bring to the world and what I want to bring to the people around me. Wisdom is one of my core values. Faith is one of my core values. And honesty is one of my core values. So those are some things that I stand for. And those are some things that my company stands for. So what are some things that you stand for? Very, very important to figure out. Yes, I'm seeing passion, respect, determination. Rogina says determination, creativity, influence, responsible. Jenny Rose says learning, peace, respect, responsibility. Lucia says I consider my core values are faith, excellence, and service. I love those. Marilyn says committed, responsible, and optimistic. Ganshayam says role model. Alvedon says determined and honest. Yes, Esmeralda says commitment, integrity, and the ability to inspire others. Wonderful, wonderful. Shaquille says qualities are success oriented, honesty, people oriented, and risk taker. Very, very, very good. What do you stand for? You have to know what you stand for. So, this isn't mine, but this is a picture of a vision board. We've talked a lot about vision, but what about visualization? Visualization is a great way to put energy behind an idea to help it come to life. It involves setting a goal and creating a visual through pictures or mental imagery of what you want your future to look like. To do this, you might set up a vision board in your office, posted with images, ideas, and steps to communicate, focus, and encourage specific steps along the way to you achieving your goal. Or you may choose to do your visualizing prior to introducing your goal. Um, and you may want to talk about that with your team if you're doing this as a team thing at work. And so, one of the things that I want to share with you is I've done vision boards in the past, and I actually did a vision board exercise with one of my teaching partners about 3 weeks ago on Facebook. And because it's time to redo my vision board, it's time to redo it again. Keeping the vision in of what you want in your life in front of you is powerful. It is powerful. It keeps you focused. It gets on the inside of you. I'll tell you that years ago, I did a vision board, and there was one of the things that I appreciate in life is I live close to the city, but I live out in the country. Okay, so I live close enough to the city that I can drive in there. I have contracts. I work in the city. It's wonderful. But where I live is out in the out in the country, and that's one of the things that creates balance for me, and that I love. And before I bought the house that I have now, I had done a vision board like way back when. And one of the pictures that I put on my vision board was this road. It was like this long road with trees on either side of it, just going down both sides of this long road, and the trees were kind of overhanging over the road. And to me, it looked like the most peaceful road. It just looked like the most peaceful place. Well, let me tell you something. Years later, I pulled out that vision board and I saw that picture and I thought, oh my goodness, this picture of this road is the road that I live on now. And so I tell you that, no joke, in all honesty, I tell you that because when you get something inside of you, when you get something, a dream inside of you or a thought inside of you, whether it be positive or negative, good or bad, it will come out in time. It will manifest in time. And so it's very important for us to focus on the things that we want, not on the things that we don't want. And let me say, I don't think that I said this before, but it's very important to, when you're writing your vision statements, put them in the present tense and write them positively. Don't ever focus on something that you don't want. Don't say, I don't want to be sick, or I don't want to, I, I don't want to live in poverty. Don't say that. Say what you want. Okay? Say what you want, because words have power, and we live in a universe, in a world that is driven by energy. That's how we have the internet. That's how we have everything that we have. So let's put out that positive energy and focus on what we want, not on what we do want. Okay, so one way that you can practice visualization is to sit quietly for a few minutes a day to relax and clear your mind and allow your ideas to start flowing. Um, you can also, some people meditate. Meditation is wonderful. So I do want to ask you though, if you've done a vision board before, let me know in the chat, okay? If you've done one before, let me know in the chat. I'd like to see that. If you haven't done a vision board before, consider doing it. And you can put it, you don't have to share it with people if you don't want to. It can be a very personal thing. Put it somewhere where you can see it. So, so anyway, yes, absolutely. I don't know if anybody's ever heard about the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle. This quote says, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Okay, so I'll talk about the 80-20 rule in a kind of a different concept right now. The 80-20 rule is based on the concept that people naturally divide into two groups. Problems divide into two groups. Many things divide into two groups. If you're talking about people, you can look at the top 20% being the achievers versus the bottom 80% not focusing on their growth or not focusing on achieving, or the non-achievers. If you look at people in your organization, it's probably 20% of the people in your organization that cause 80% of the problems. Okay, so it's a 20-80 rule. And so I want you to take this 20-80 rule and apply this to the idea of goal creation. If you're having a difficult time deciding on what goals would be most productive for you or your vision. And here's how. And we can even take, some time to do this now if you'd like. If you have a piece of paper, jot down 10 goals. Make a list of 10 goals. Anything that you want, 10 goals. And let me give you some ideas, and I think I'll cover this in another slide. But some ideas, if you were looking at, you can think of personal or you can think of professional. You can think, and they don't have to be all related to each other, but you might have a health goal, you might have a spirituality goal, you might have a money goal, um, uh, uh, several business goals if you have them, relationship goals with loved ones that are very, very close to you, um, anything like that. But if you just had to sit down and write down, and I'm not talking about writing them the way that we need to write them, but just as ideas. If not as a SMART goal, but just an idea, you can write down 10 words that are related to the goals that you want. So think about it. I think that's probably a better thing to do, like 10 words to related to a goal that you want. And what I want you to do, the reason why I want you to do this is because we're going to leverage the 80-20 rule. I'm going to show you how this can help you define things in your life, okay? So let's say that you have your 10, okay? Now look at those 10. Now what I would like you to do is choose 2 of those 10 based on your first choice and your second choice by determining which goals on your list would have the most positive impact on your life. Choosing 2. So when you choose 2, that's your top 20%. It doesn't mean that the other ones aren't important, but it may mean that you focus on that top 20% more so at this time than you do on the others. And you can use that 80-20 rule in many different areas of your life. So, so you'll see that your areas of time spent and productivity, um, usually you can focus on the 80-20 rule with that too. So 80% of your time is generally focused on 20% of the things that you need to get accomplished. So that's a good rule to follow. I'm still seeing core goals, core values come in, and they're wonderful core values. Um, yes, spiritual, um, successful in business, being decision making, being fair to all, integrity, responsibility, self discipline, clarity, a good personality. Very good, very good. So we talked a little bit about this before, long-term versus short-term goals. Napoleon Hill, if you've ever heard of Napoleon Hill before, he's most famous for writing the book Think and Grow Rich. Um, Think and Grow Rich is one of the, they say that I think it's the book that's created more millionaires than any other book that's been published. It was published actually in the 1930s, so it was a long time ago, but the principles are still the same today. And so if you haven't done a study on that, I would encourage you to do a study on that. Not necessarily just reading the book yourself, because reading it doesn't even get you to the point that doing a group study on it does. And I've done several of them, 5 of them now, and they've been awesome. So one of the things he says is a goal is a dream with a deadline. A goal is a dream with a deadline. So, as stated before, a long-term goal should probably not be any more than 2 or 3 years. Short-term goals can be anywhere from a short-term goal can be a week-long goal. It can be a year goal, 6-month goal, but they build on each other. So they whatever your short-term goals are, they have to be connected to your long-term goals. And of course, your long-term goals have to be connected to your vision um, and your purpose, right? The basis for a long-term goal should be aligned with your company's mission and reflect its purpose. This is the big picture goal that sets the course for your future. Generally, a long-term goal involves growth in 4 major areas for your company. This is company: service, social, profit, and growth. So service is related to increasing customer service satisfaction or customer service retention. Social is focusing on giving back to the community. Profit is to increase profits by specific amounts. And growth is related to company development. If you're setting personal goals, I suggest that you look at these 5 categories, and they're the ones that I just mentioned: health, spirituality, close relationships, business, and finance. So think about that. Think about it. Do you have a long-term goal? Um, one of the sayings that I've heard many people say is what you get, and this is a quote, but I've heard many people discuss this, many influential and successful people say what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. It's the person that you become in the process. It's the person that you become in the end. It's the person that, you go through the changes and the transformations, and it's not just all about the goal. It's all about what you become as you're achieving those goals. And excuse me, I need to take something to drink. Thank you so much. Yes, Abigail says to be a great leader, it should start first with yourself and leading with a purpose. Absolutely. So, short-term objectives. With your long-term goal in place, the next step is to figure out how to get there with short-term goals. While your long-term goals are broad and serve a higher purpose, your short-term goals should be specific and designed to be executed within a shorter time frame. These goals, as I said, also support the overarching goal and allow you to measure your progress along the way as you accomplish them. Yes. Thank you very much for the wonderful comments. Thank you very much. So you have to have a strategy for reaching your goals, okay? You have to have a strategy for reaching your goals. So somebody had said in the comments, and I forget who, I said who it was earlier, said smart goals and smart planning. And so smart planning, SMART stands for, and if you haven't heard of this before, I'm sure many of you have, but if you haven't heard of this before, you can write this down. The S in SMART goals, the S stands for specific. What is your specific goal? Be specific. The M stands for measurability. You have to be able to measure your goal. How do you measure your progress towards your long-term goal? The A is it has to be achievable. You can't have something like, your goal is to make $1 million in 3 weeks, selling magazines or something. It has to be an achievable goal. It has to be relevant. The R stands for relevance. What does achieving a goal mean for your business or for yourself? How is it relevant to you? And timeliness. What is the time frame for achieving this goal? Remember, one of the things that we saw earlier was a, a a goal is a dream with a timeline or something like that. It has to be time specific. You have to be able to measure it, and it has to be time specific. Shaquille said this is the 22nd webinar in IGP that they've attended. Wow, wonderful. Emma Lou says it's imperative to have SMART goals and planning. Yes. Yes. Wow. Now let's look at putting action in place. Staying on track with your goals can be a challenge, but one way to help you stay motivated is to share your goals with others. Creating visibility means adding another level of accountability, which in turn increases your motivation. Consider the following. Accountability. Share your idea with others. Sharing your idea with others makes you more accountable, as to when you create an audience, you're more apt to follow through. Clarity. Sharing your goals allows you to see them outside of yourself, and the clarity allows you to gauge if you need to modify them. And connection. Sharing your goals may help you grow your social circle to include more like minded people who can contribute to your progress. Now, one of the things that I want to say is from personal experience and just everything that I've learned from people is the reason why I put this picture here of a person planting a plant or a seedling, something that grew from a seed, is because that's how I think of our dreams and what we want to, our visions and our goals. And I think that when you have a dream or when you have a vision, you need to protect it. I do believe that there is a time and a place for sharing and for accountability and for clarity. For example, if you join a group of like minded people to help you with accountability, um, I've found those very effective. I do those, I've joined those. It helps you be it helps you to be accountable to somebody else. But what I want to tell you is I wouldn't just tell anybody and everybody my goals and my dreams at the very beginning because they need time to take root. It's like a plant. It's seed, time, and harvest. They need to be able to take root because think of something that you're just creating, that you're just planting, and you put it in the ground and you tend to it, but a strong wind comes, or strong rains come, or a natural disaster happens and it's blown away and it's destroyed. That's the same thing that negativity can do to your dream or to your vision. It's people that don't share your dream or vision. Many people are not going to share your dream or vision because God didn't give it to them. He gave it to you. That is your dream and your vision. And so many people can talk against it, even people you love, without trying to hurt you. But those that negativity or those things that are said can crush your dreams in the early stages. So sometimes I like to encourage people and tell people with talk only with people that are on the same page with you or involved with you or just a very few people or who are like-minded people so that you don't have somebody speak against it and have them rip that dream out of the ground before its roots really get down there and really take form. So that's just what I believe with that, and I think that that is some good advice. You may have a clear vision for the direction of you or your company. It is vital to your success that your team is informed and on board to execute your vision. Okay, so if you're doing goals and visions at work or for your company, you do have to share those with your team. Um, this creates, when everybody's on the same page, it creates operating rhythm or momentum to keep you going even when the times get tough. So um, weekly or bi-monthly check-ins are important to review your progress and evaluate your short-term goals with your teams. It also serves as a great way to communicate with other teams how your company is progressing. Whether you're working on your personal or professional goals, I really do highly recommend joining an accountability group. This level of transparency keeps you engaged and motivated by offering a clear picture of how daily tasks relate to a bigger picture. When it comes to your goals, you need to devote the time and money towards them to achieve them. Now, people might say, oh my gosh, we're talking about money. Yes, we're talking about money. For example, if your goal is to offer the best customer service, then you may need to allocate funds to hire real people to answer the phones instead of opting for something more automated. Um, if you're looking at yourself and personal growth and development, hiring a coach is another way to set yourself up for success. So it's very important to align your resources with your goals. And that means that sometimes you have to make priorities. Sometimes priorities change. Sometimes some things have to take a back seat to other things in order for you to grow or in order for you to get your company to where it needs to be. And you have to be consistent. They say that consistency is um, is even much more important than skills. Consistency pays off. Those who seem to have cultivated a habit of persistence seem to enjoy insurance against failure. Be persistent and be consistent. Be persistent and be consistent. Okay. So my screen decided that it doesn't want to go to the next one. Okay. So measuring goals with milestones. Milestones are checkpoints that mark or measure the steps along the way to achieving a goal. Setting such milestones for your goals allows you the visibility to determine whether or not your goals are tracking successfully. A good way to set milestones is to collaborate with people or the teams responsible for executing your goals and to establish what milestones should be and how often they should be reviewed, like making an action plan, who's responsible for what, and a timeline. Okay. This incorporative decision making gives a sense of ownership and fosters enthusiastic buy in from the team and the overall goal. So, if you're in a team or you're doing this for work, then go ahead and make sure that you have the buy in from your team members, from your community. If it's just you, then you still need to make that action plan. You still need to write down what it is you need to do, what it is you need to work on, when you need to do it, and it's very, very important. Milestones often reveal the progress made during the course of achieving a goal, so don't forget to celebrate them either with yourself or with the people that have made it possible. Now, I picked this picture because it's a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, and that to me means transformation. And having visibility when it comes to tracking and measuring goals means that sometimes the plans need to be changed. Sometimes they need to be adjusted. And I want to talk to you for a minute about this because this is not something to get frustrated over. Change is a fact of life, right? We can't stop change from happening. Change happens in every area of our life and in every aspect of our life. There's a saying that I heard several years ago that says, nobody likes change except a baby in a wet diaper. And, you know, people do resist change. They really do resist change. But change can be very good. If you want to think of where you are now and where you want to be, things are going to have to change. And so change can be good. It's hard when you've devoted so much time and energy into achieving something or for putting it into vision statements and for making goals. But let me tell you that you'll have to regroup. You'll have to set new milestones and keep the energy going and monitor and adjust. And that's my phrase in business. That's my phrase in my company. That's just my phrase in all of the things that I do profitability wise is monitor and adjust, monitor and adjust. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, change is important. Thank you so much for saying the webinar is being very informative. Yes, and change. Elvira says change makes the organization better. Yes, and Kim Lan says the only constant in our life is change. That's the truth. I mean, the only thing that we can really rely on in life is they say um, that we'll have to pay our taxes, death, and change. Things will change. So, yes. Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this is a picture of Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan, if you know, was one of the greatest basketball players. And his statement that I think is incredible is he said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over in my life. And so what I want to tell you is that there is no lasting success without failures. Do any of us like to fail? I don't know if there's any of us that like to fail. Some people, the people that have made it and are successful, understand that they are successful because of their failures, not in spite of their failures. And so I'm learning to get there myself. It's a mindset thing, and it's not something that we're brought up believing, most of us, that it's okay to fail. Most of us were brought up that it's better to win than to fail. But staying focused on your big picture provides a solid foundation to address your failures head on. Remember that in failure lies the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. John Maxwell, who I've said before, who I've mentioned before in this webinar, wrote a best-selling book called Failing Forward. And so if people didn't realize that failing was important, then a book wouldn't become a bestseller called Failing Forward. We need to learn from our mistakes. I mean, we think of Edison, who made the light bulb, is said to have made over 10,000 attempts at the light bulb before he was successful. And I think he said he didn't look at it as 10,000 failures. He looked at it as 10,000 ways it didn't work. And so I think that, it might mean the same thing, but if you look at it, instead of saying, oh, I failed again, or oh, I failed again, instead of saying that and saying, oh, well, I just found out another way that doesn't work. Let me write that one down and let's try this. Okay, this way doesn't work. Let me make sure I write that one down so that I don't do that again. So learn from your failures. Adopt a habit of looking at failure to determine what changes are necessary to be more successful in the future. Success only occurs if you keep going. You can't stop. You can't let your failures stop you. You can't. And when you have a success, then make sure that you celebrate your successes. When you achieve your goals, make sure that you celebrate those. You work really, really hard to achieve them. I think the secret of getting ahead is getting started. And I think that that's what this whole webinar has been about, and any of the other webinars that you attend. I think that what you need to do is you need to make sure that that whatever you learn, you implement. Whatever the speaker is telling you, if it resonates with you, or you believe it, or you agree with it, or it aligns with your values, then go ahead and take some steps to get started in doing what they're recommending. Because the people who are doing these webinars with this wonderful organization that is putting these together. The people who are doing these webinars have experience and expertise in these areas. And that's what you need to learn from. You need to learn from the people who've been there and done that, people who know what they're talking about. And so once you hear something, then the secret of getting ahead is to get started. Lastly, well, almost lastly, I do have a free Business Monthly newsletter that you can visit with the link on the screen. And the link is on the bottom of this screen. It's debvibe.leadingthebest.com/BCN001. debvibe.leadingthebest.com/BCN0001. And if you'd like a copy of this free newsletter, it's just one newsletter a month that will come to your email, and it will certainly help you. I want to say many thanks again to IGP, International Global Professionals, for inviting me and for putting on these wonderful events that they're doing. I want to thank you so much. I think that so many of you have participated and have left so many wonderful comments. I hope that you have learned, and I hope that you will implement what you have learned. I'm grateful for you joining us. And if you have any questions, I can certainly answer them. If you have any comments that you'd like to make, we can do that. But I thank you. This is the end of the presentation, and I thank you so very, very, very much. You can certainly ask your questions if you'd like. For leadership, morality and religious mind is mandatory. I think that means Zakir asked, for leadership, morality and religious mind is mandatory. I think that personally, I'm going to say that morality, if you're meaning a person being a person of values and a person of integrity and a person of honesty, is that necessary? Absolutely. Is religion necessary? I don't necessarily think it's necessary, but I think that it is. I think that it is definitely definitely helpful. If you're a person of faith, I think you integrate that faith into everything that you do. What are commonly problems faced by a leader? I think that communication is one of the biggest problems that is faced by a leader. I think that the lack of communication and being clear with your constituents, with the people that you work with your colleagues, is one of the biggest things that that can hurt you. There's a book that's called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And in that book, they talk about how, everybody can talk, but not everybody connects with who they're talking to. So I think that that's one of the most commonly problems faced by leaders. Also, acting on a problem before it gets too big. If you see a problem that's coming along, it's not going to go away. It's not going to just go away by itself. So you have to be proactive. And when you see something happening in your organization or you see something happening in your life, that's one of the next biggest things that I think leaders need to do is making sure that that they are connected to the people that they're working with. Another question is, how can I move on from my past failures that made me afraid of trying again? I think that one, thank you very much, May, for that question. I think that one is very important as well. I think that is going to be a change of mindset, because there's a saying that I learned from one of my mentors that said, do it afraid. And period, that's the saying, do it afraid. And so fear, there's an acronym that for fear that says false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real for fear. And so we cannot let fear stop us. We can recognize it, and we can even say, okay, yeah, accept it. Yeah, I'm afraid. There's many times that I've been afraid. I'm in the middle of a huge project right now that has me, my knees shaking. I'm a little bit scared, to be honest with you, but it can't stop me. So it is a mindset. And sometimes having a group of like a coach or a mentor or a small mastermind group that you're working with to talk through what best steps you can take is something that's helped me. That's a wonderful thing. So thank you for that question. Yes. Thank you very much. What are common factors that leaders face by solving problems? And how do you go leading with uncertainty? Ariel says, how do you go with leading with uncertainty? I think that everything in life is pretty uncertain. There's not a whole lot of things that are certain. I think that we generally think that things are uncertain. But one of the things that I said with our goals and our visions is to take one step, and the next step will appear. If you, it's I don't necessarily know how it works, but I just know that it does work, is that you have to take action. And once you take action, the next step, the next action that you need to take will become evident. And then once you take that action, it will become evident as to whether you need to take another one, or stay on the same course or change courses. But there is so much uncertainty when we think about how much we have control over. It's usually very little. Very little do we really know the outcome of. So just have faith, look at a needs analysis, and make good judgment calls. Make good judgment calls. Leadership is about making good judgment calls. There's something that was years ago. I was a director of a big organization, and they said that leaders make um, thousands of decisions a day. And if you don't make, and a lot of them are going to be wrong. Every decision that you make is not going to be the best decision. It's not going to be the right decision. But a leader makes decisions. That's what a leader does. You can't be a leader and not make a decision. You'll lose respect. You'll lose authenticity. You'll you'll That's not what a leader is. So you have to be able to make decisions, and I think it's looking at how you make them and looking at a, a way to make them. And if you pray, you pray about it. If you look at facts, you look at facts. You make your decisions that way. Make smart decisions. Which is important, being a leader or a manager, and why? Very good question. They are two different things. A leader is a person who is generally a visionary. The leader will take a team and they will work together on specific things, and they will take their organizations to the next level. They may even, if you're a leader of, like I said, even yourself, you're working on your next goal or your next vision, but you're doing it within a creative process. A manager manages. I know that sounds funny. A leader leads, a manager manages. The difference is the manager does not set the vision. The manager does not set the purpose. The manager implements the vision. They implement the actions. Managers are very important. Leaders are very important. The leader sets the vision, the manager implements that vision. The manager looks much more at details sometimes, and making sure that things get done, get checked off, and that things happen within the business, that this is working properly, and we have ordered this and this, daily things that go on in a business. Whereas the leader sets the vision and makes sure that the overview is happening, that the overall goals are being set. So both are very important. You have to have you have to be both. You have to have not you have to be both. You have to have both in an organization for it to run smoothly and effectively. I think another question was, what types of behavior do good leaders or managers have towards their people? There's a thing that I call servant leadership. And if any of you are familiar with that, it means working alongside others. You don't have an ego that says, I'm better than you because I have a title. I'm better than you because I have a position. I'm bigger than you because I make more money than you in this organization. Leaders definitely have responsibility, and they definitely have to make the hard decisions. But a good leader isn't afraid to roll up their sleeves and to get busy with their people. A good leader isn't afraid to get their hands dirty. They're not afraid to get to do the work with their people. They're not afraid to sit down and listen to their people and to hear what they have to say and then to take good advice and to change their minds. So I think that some of those qualities are extremely important. And Robalyn says, how do you be an effective leader? And I think that those are some of the qualities of being an effective leader, is making sure that you have a connection with your people, making sure that you're accessible. You are people are able to access you, whether it be in person, whether it be by email, whether it be virtually, and you respond to your people in kindness. I don't believe that leaders ever have to put somebody down or make somebody feel bad when they make a mistake. You have to correct, but you can correct with kindness. You have to set vision. Um, Sometimes you have to be very, very strong, and sometimes it's very lonely at the top. Sometimes when you're a leader, you don't have a whole lot of people that you can share your concerns with, because always you should always never complain. Like if you're the leader, the saying is complain up, praise down. You should never be at a level where you put yourself at the same level as the people that you lead or that you manage, because you have to keep yourself in a position of authority, but so you don't join the ranks of the complaining or the whatever. You always are the problem solver. Okay. And you always praise. You always make sure that you make people feel valuable, because that's the one thing that we all have in common, is we all want to be valued. How to keep track between short-term view and long-term visions for leaders. So short-term, so that's something that I think you put an action plan in place. When you write your goals down, you're going to have your vision statements, and you're going to have your goals, and you're going to write your long-term goals, and you're going to write your short-term goals. And your short-term goals are going to lead to your long-term goal achievement. Your short-term goals are going to be based on your long-term goals. So let's say you have a long-term goal of, let's say in um, 2 years um, you want to earn your degree in engineering or something. Well, that might be your long-term goal. Your short-term goals are, okay, I need to take this class and this class this semester. I need to take this class and this class next semester. I need to cut down on my work over here, or not spend as much because I'm spending more money over here for my studies. Um, you have to be able to break your things down, to break your goals down. I thank you so much, so very much. I hope that this webinar did meet your expectations. Um, as a leader, how are you going to deal with employees that are hard-headed? Not everybody is easy to deal with, right? There are so many people that are hard people to deal with, and don't ever come down to their level. What I'm saying is if they yell, you don't yell. If they are disrespectful, you don't become disrespectful. You always keep your integrity as a leader. Sometimes you need to put a plan in place or a growth plan in place. Sometimes people need help. There's a difference. You have to discern whether somebody is being hard-headed because they don't know how to do it, or because they're being um, subservient because they're being disrespectful. And so if it's the one that they don't know how to do it, so they're covering up for their not knowing how to do it. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that's a personal conversation that you have to have with them. Um, so
Hello, ma'am.
I am thanking you for the comments about the webinar was uh, beyond expectations. Thank you so very much. It was very interactive. Thank you. Um, what can you
Hello,
advise
ma'am.
to a leader that is not open? Yes,
Am I audible?
yes. Hello?
Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Hello. Okay, ma'am.
Hello?
Okay, ma'am. Yes. Hello.
Yes. Are we coming to an
Oh,
end?
yes, ma'am. Actually, it's time for bye bye. But before bye bye, I want to say something. I want to show something to our participants, actually, which is important for our total journey. It's actually based our trainer profile. So for this regarding, I have to show this to everyone.
Okay, I have stopped sharing. Okay. Thank you so much for all of the wonderful comments. There are so many wonderful speakers that are coming up.
Jerry, Jerry.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful webinar. It's been a wonderful time. I thank you so very much for joining us. I hope that you were able to get much out of this, and I really appreciate you all taking your time. I see so many wonderful trainings that are coming up, um, and I just encourage you to continue growing.
Amazing presentation. This session will really help our audience to do better in their personal and professional life. From today's webinar, we are knowing some new things like we can't outgrow what we don't know. Then, if we want to have a great minds, then we will have our purposes. Others have wishes. We also know about the steps to discover our purpose. Then, if somebody want to succeed of their dream, then they have to work on it. Even if they are afraid on it, but he or she have to work on it. Then we have to conquering our goals and a lot of things. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time and share your comprehensive knowledge with all of us. Dear audience,
It was my pleasure.
we would love welcome, ma'am. Dear audience, we would love you all to thank you for attending today's session. I hope you learned something and will implement in your life. Thank you so much for being with us all the time. Our next webinar will be held on business automation. Hope to see you all there. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night, ma'am.
Good night.